You're listening to DraftKings Network.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. If you're a smoker or dipper looking to make a change, you really only need one reason to do it. But with Zyn nicotine pouches, you can find many. Zyn is America's #1 nicotine pouch. It's made with only 6 simple ingredients. There are lots of options when it comes to nicotine satisfaction, but there's only one Zyn. Learn more about Zyn and find your reason to make a change by registering online at Zyn.com.
Want to shop Walmart Black Friday deals first? Walmart Plus members get early access to our hottest deals. Join now and get 50% off a 1-year annual membership. Shop Black Friday deals first with Walmart Plus. See terms at walmartplus.com.
Welcome to the Big Suey, presented by DraftKings.
Why are you listening to this show?
The podcast that seems very similar to the other Dan Le Batard podcast.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to apologize for that.
In fact, the only difference seems to be this imaging.
I have been tempted in restaurants just walking past tables to grab somebody's fries that if they're just there. That hasn't happened to you guys?
I've done it.
And now, here's the marching man to nowhere, Fat Face, and the habitual liar.
I feel it all around me. I see screen caps. I hear my friends mention Game Time as their go-to app when they need tickets. This thing is growing. It's like a rocket ship. You know why? Because it's the best secondary ticket marketplace there is. There's plenty of reasons. Panoramic seat views, all-in pricing, so there's no surprises at checkout. The Game Time ticket coverage, which is pristine. It's super easy to use. And also, if you're a first-time user, all you got to do is create an account and use a promo code DAN. That is DAN, and you get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time today. Chris Cody, what time is it?
Game time.
Pickens is a weird player.
Very strange.
I love how strange he is. I tackling people away from the play, just telling you after the game, let's play the sound. We have this sound. I don't have to describe the sound for you before I play the sound because it is not sound that needs to be censored. But here's Pickens after the game, not exactly a graceful loser.
What do you guys try to take away from this loss? What's the message, in the locker room?
Just keep grinding. Like I said, conditions played a huge part in today's game. I don't really think the Cleveland Browns are a good team at all.
Nice.
Hey,
it's not like they were It's not like they were dominating the game when the weather conditions were more favorable. It's just kind of a weird one. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Teams that win based solely off of execution, really, because outside of T.J. Watt and a couple of other guys, maybe, they're not going to have talent advantages. They win because of execution, and certain variables can throw off how those teams win.
So you agree with him?
Yeah. Well, generally, yeah. I mean, Pittsburgh's better because they execute at a higher level.
I mean, one of them's 3-8 and the other one's 8-3.
Pretty obvious.
Pretty
obvious, but that's always the time. Like, Pittsburgh does this. They'll hang tight with the big dogs, and then you'll be confused.
Oh, no, wait a minute. No, wait.
No,
be clear on this. I know we all love Tomlin. We love that he might have the fun CTE when he talks. We all love Tomlin, but he's been losing that game for 20 years. Like for 20 years.
To the Browns
game.
Thursday night. Specific to the Browns, I think he's got like an all-time winning percentage. Except on Thursday night.
No. I'm not talking about
he always wins.
I'm talking about when you're 8-2 and you got expectations for the Steelers and they're not going to win in the playoffs this year. They're better than I thought they were, and now they're 9-8.
Yeah, that's the story for a team that's not overly talented, that they win based off of schematics, how they prepare for an opponent, and certain variables can throw you off. You muff a punt, you miss a kick, there's a blizzard in the middle of the third quarter.
Snowstorm. I mean, I was actually shocked that Jameis, and I'm not to turn it back to Jameis, but the fact that he played so well in the snow shocked the hell out of me.
Well, he was excited. Did you hear him earlier before the game? He's like, he thanked the Lord for the opportunity
for snow
in real football.
That's a fan. That's a fan answer. Like, I've seen this on NFL films. I never thought it was real.
He was throwing some really beautiful passes that I think maybe shocked us because the camera view was so much worse than what it looked like on the field for the players, because Russ was doing it too. There were some big fourth down conversions that you're like, how do you even attempt that pass, even with it being fourth down?
Those are some sick passes. I mean, I don't disagree with George Pickens that the Browns are not a very good football team. I think we all would agree that they should be near the top of the draft. They should go get another quarterback. And it's just a matter of him losing after an L calling the team that you played bad. That is the George Pickens experience, which I am all for. I'm just be honest. I like George Pickens. I like that he fights people when the Hail Mary is happening. I like that he fights people when interceptions happen.
Did we get an answer to what was happening after the game where he had to be held back and there were like fans?
He was fighting the DB while the ball was in the air. It was like it's like Tyreek Stevenson for the Bears, who is celebrating during the Hail Mary, and George Pickens are like a match made in heaven in that scenario.
Speaking of George Pickens, somebody on Sunday Night Live, shout out to me, on Sunday Night Live presented by Smirnoff, somebody asked me who the biggest villain was in the NFL, right? And obviously taking out what we know, thank you, Jeremy, about Deshaun Watson, I said George Pickens right now is the biggest villain in the NFL, and I don't think there's anybody close to him. He's power bombing people, he's suplexing people, he's talking shit about people. Like, he right now is villain number one.
Are we willing to go that far? Let me think about this for a second, because when I see how it is that Pickens is playing, which is just elbowing people all over the place, and you guys pointed out to me 3 weeks ago, you said he plays weird. Many years ago, I talked to Darnell Dockett, and basically he was just in Sundays for the money and the violence. He's like, I get to hit people for free? Is George Pickens as a wide receiver, is he just looking to fight everybody the entire game?
I don't think he's looking to fight people. I think he's a little... I like it, but he's off. He's off.
Fun CTE?
Villainous?
Villainous would be a good way to put it, I guess. But it's like a fire that so many NFL wide receivers care about, obviously, money. They care about getting the football to catch the ball to make themselves more money. Like, they care about how they're perceived. They care about their fame. When you watch George Pickens play, even like last night versus Denzel Ward, he would catch a slant, immediately starts talking shit to Denzel. Like, in the plays where he doesn't catch the ball, immediately turns around, starts talking shit. It's not an act. He's not trying to get under your skin. This is just literally who he is.
Pure emotion.
And just, I just love every minute of it. As far as an athlete, one of the most unconventional athletes in NFL history. He has no idea what he's going to do. It's like there is a cerebral piece of playing in the NFL of like when you watch a receiver run a route or when someone cuts, like, you think it's just your athletic ability, and some of it is instincts, but it also is fueled by past experience, what you know, your feel, your like very quick calculations of when somebody's coming, what you should do. With George Pickens, none of that. It's like literally all reaction, all instincts, whatever pops into my head.
Sony also has this.
It might be right. It might also be the worst decision you've ever seen on the NFL field, and that's what makes it fun.
Fun.
Jerome Simpson was like that.
I love the idea of you having a teammate who's like, he's football, not really, but violence and it's really athletic, and we'll get you 8 targets for 80 yards a game, and you're a deep threat with an old quarterback who's just going to throw parabolas the whole game.
You're a better football player when you are a fan of violence.
Put it on the poll, Juju.
That's
at
a bar. That was crazy.
Show. Are you a better football player when you're a fan of violence?
Where were you with violence?
I was all for it. I actually miss it. Like when I play pickup basketball, I try to tame myself, and then someone bumps me a little hard, and I immediately start sweating. I get a little grin, and I'm like, I miss this. Yes, please.
That's why everyone hates playing basketball with football players.
Please give me the good time.
You guys forget what's happening here.
Yes.
Well, this is the part that I don't think that we commentators totally understand. Amin tells the great story of when his Suns got knocked out of the playoffs. Tim Duncan roared after making a 3, and Amin ran through the building afraid of him because he's like, that competitive fire is something I don't understand. This person liking violence and collisions, and I'm a fan of it. I don't think that's the world he lives in right here. where he misses the competing with somebody else. Oh, you think you're more physical than I am.
Oh, I love it.
There's a lot of creative license in the story that Dan just told there.
Wow.
Well, for a second there, I thought Tim Duncan was playing your children in the playoff.
Tim Duncan,
his son's lost.
Your sick three-pointer against my son.
You're Leandro Barbosa's dad.
Then I ran away.
Well, okay, what license did I take with Tim Duncan screaming on the court that was unfair? Because that's how you told the story.
The story I told was, first of all, they didn't knock us out. It was game one. And it was game one, and we were in overtime, and they ran a high pick and roll, and Shaq dropped all the way back to help out. I think it was Tony Parker kicked it to Tim Duncan at the top. And so no one reacts because, like, the scouting report, like, this dude hasn't attempted a three all season long. It's Tim Duncan. He doesn't shoot threes. And he shot that three, and he made it. And you know Tim Duncan's always, like, reserved and cool, where he turned around and go, "Rah!" And I saw the look in his eyes, and it was game one, and it was overtime. Game one at San Antonio. I was like, oh, we're not winning this series. Like, not the game. I knew right then and there.
The series was over.
The series, man. Then in the timeout, they came back from the timeout, and they showed the video of the huddle, and Pop was just sitting back, and Tim Duncan was grabbing people, and I'm like, who the is this?
Yeah.
You turn into Kevin Garnett all of a sudden. Like, if KG does that, you're like, damn it, all right, guys, let's go. Like, we got this. But it's like, you see Tim Duncan acting that way, like, oh, shit, man.
When did you run away? When was the scariest moment of that for you? At what point did you shit your pants?
I didn't physically do anything, but internally, because I didn't
shit your pants. No, you ran away shitting. He's got it right. The way the story's going to be told 10 years from now is you slipped in your own feces and urine as you ran away from Tim Duncan's roar.
I ran out of the elevator, tripped over myself, and my drink splashed all over the elevator across the way.
That is correct. Let's get the bucket of death over here real quick.
No, we don't.
While we're doing this, Hawk is going to do it with us here. I want to also talk about the Shannon Sharp sound. He just annihilated CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs for shooting a music video after their loss to the Houston Texans, and it was some real quality old man ranting.
It's a damn good football team, Dan. I don't know if you heard. Michael Parsons told us.
Jeremy, what do you have there from the bucket of death?
I have the Cincinnati Bengals, who are on a bye.
That's the second week in a row.
Really hoping I would get the Browns.
Hawk, are you familiar with the bucket of death? Do you know the rules?
I know who the Bengals are.
There you go.
Okay.
Not very familiar with the bucket of death.
Okay.
Rummaging. Here we go. Let's see. We got the Baltimore Ravens.
You pick a helmet.
Monday Night Football.
Hawk, you pick a helmet, and then you have a choice. You can keep it, and they have to win, or you have to do a punishment. You can put it back, but that second helmet you have to keep.
The Ravens are at the Chargers. The Chargers at home are a 2.5-point dog. That's a good game.
It is a great
Chargers,
game.
That kind of dog at home. Why is that?
Yeah, it's a sneaky line. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I don't know if I like
Brother.
that. I think I'm going to put it back.
Why is that?
Horrible.
Are you guys confused by that? No.
Yeah, that's a trappy line.
Push.
I like
no.
that.
I'm so confused about which one's Jim and which one's John.
Yeah.
They look alike.
That's a
Jimmy
good thing.
Bosa brothers.
I got the Big Apple.
So that's any New York team.
The Jets are on a bye. Thank you.
Okay, nobody likes when anybody wins around here. Mike Ryan, reach into the bucket,
Jags,
please.
So if you get a bye week team, you're good.
You won.
Just won.
Basically.
All right.
Houston Texans, who do they got?
Texans are at home against the Titans. They're an 8-point
We're going to
favorite.
keep that. Thank you.
That's a win.
Are you sure about that? I know it should
I am
be.
positive
I know it
about
should be. No, Hawk was saying that's a win, and I just don't feel. I feel like a lot of people were saying last night Pittsburgh, that's a win, and it's like I never know in that.
I guarantee you they are not losing this game.
Didn't that line, by the way, didn't the Browns line go from 7.5 to 3.5 before the game? Did that move 4 points because of the weather?
No, Thursday Thunder took a little teaser.
Oh, okay.
I got the Seahawks 1-point favorite at home against the Cardinals. This is a weird one. Yeah, I'm putting that back. Yeah, kind of like the Cardinals there.
Cardinals playing well.
They are.
I got the Cardinals. All right.
I was going to say, you're going to pick the Cardinals, of course.
That division stuff.
I do feel like, though, our analysis right there of the Cardinals was the universal analysis with Cardinals playing good, Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, solid.
Amin's home team.
But that was all our analysis, and I feel like that's America's analysis.
McBride, good.
So that's good analysis.
I got the Panthers.
Yeah,
Woof.
keep it.
No, the Panthers 10.5-point dog at home against the Chiefs.
All right.
So that might be the worst helmet you can pull out of there.
I have a feeling I'll pull it out again.
So the Commanders and the Cowboys is also the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Okay.
All
Wow.
right.
What did you get? Titans.
All right. Second worst helmet.
God damn it, man.
Okay.
I guarantee you are losing.
Enough with the curses.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's that bad.
Do I not bleed?
He got the Titans, just so we're all clear.
I've got the Buccaneers here. They are
the greatest game of the weekend. Tommy versus Baker.
Gabagool on the menu.
Giants
Evans might be back.
6-point favorite on the road at the Giants.
I'd keep it if I were you.
Dable's coaching for his job, Dan.
Hawkins says that with no comment.
Spoiler alert, he ends up losing his job.
Yes, but you heard which means nothing is the correct analysis there. I'll keep it.
Yeah, they got to win a game here.
Does anyone want to swap with me?
Jags. Hell no. Who did they even play?
It's a bye.
Oh, the bye week. I still might put it back. Come on.
You want to put it back? Just a
You're going to put back.
I don't trust them. I can't do it. Refuse.
We've made history.
Lions. There we go.
How did he pull a better helmet?
Pull a
That's
better
great
helmet than a
karma.
bye. That's crazy.
Less likely that they lose than the Giants.
Some people just have it, man. Howdy, loyal listeners. It's Mike Ryan, and we're getting pretty close to wishing folks happy holidays. I'm sure many of you are already in the planning stages of opening up your homes and hosting holiday get-togethers. It can be stressful. Everyone's got an opinion. So why don't you make life easy for yourself, make everybody happy, and give them the gift of Miller Time. That's right, present to them a beer that actually tastes like beer. A beer that'll generate such good holiday vibes that you'll know exactly right away you made the right call with that beautiful white can. Oh, what a logo. That sparkling white label. As soon as you hold it in your hand, you know right away Miller Time is the best time. And it's got a taste that you can depend on. It doesn't just look great, folks. It tastes great. No games, no gimmicks, just great beer for people who like beer. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. Making memories at year-end gatherings? Tastes like Miller Time. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, where you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Tastes like Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs and premium regular beer.
The Emirates NBA Cup is here, and you can win big by getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Will LA repeat? We'll find out. There's sure to be rim-rattling slams and no-look passes that bring the crowd to their feet. Get behind your favorite players and the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. New DraftKings customers bet just $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN, that's code DAN, D-A-N, for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
Folks, listen up. Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football's a we thing, an experience that is best joined together with good drinks and good folks. Smirnoff is the world's #1 vodka and is the official vodka partner of the NFL. And this year, there are more opportunities to watch football and make delicious Smirnoff cocktails than ever before over the holiday season. From Thanksgiving to Black Friday and Christmas, Smirnoff and the NFL are with you every step of the way. So this holiday season, when you're enjoying the game and your cocktails, please make sure you drink responsibly. Take a minute, make a plan, never drive impaired. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff, #21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. The Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Please do not share with anyone under legal drinking age.
Yes, you can't talk about double-digit national titles when every single call of you winning the national title sounds like this. Oh, there's Chubby Checker running down the sideline. if the audio,
that's not true.
Yeah, and there's a World War II veteran pitching into another white guy, and he avoids another white guy. Oh my God, Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish have done it again for the 8th time, only playing white people.
Stugotz. Chubby Checker.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
He's black.
He's black. second, I was like, what's a white named Chubby Checker? I think I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm improv here. It's a pretty cool riff.
Chubby Checker running down the side.
He spells it differently. All right. His name is Chubby. Maybe you didn't hear me correctly. His name is Chubby Checkers. There's an S at the end.
I feel like that should be the largest of five.
Yeah, Chubby. Yeah, it's Chubby Checker. It sounds like a college football name.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Can you guys explain to me? I'd like Hawk's expertise here. When I say that Jared Goff, the Lions are a running team, right? If I tell you that Jared Goff is in the 20s in pass attempts, they're a running team. But Jared Goff also has 39 or 40. How many 300-yard games does Jared Goff have? Because I believe if he's not in the top 5, he's close to the top 5, and the top 5 is like crazy names. It's crazy names. The Lions have the best team in football with a quarterback I'm pretty sure people didn't want, right? The contract was too onerous. And the Lions, he was supposed to just be a bridge, was he not, to the next quarterback? He wasn't supposed to be the one who made the team the best in football, correct?
He wasn't supposed to be the guy. We were done with him. Because, the Rams were the place to be, and they got rid of him to get a better quarterback in their mind. But he has been playing lights out. He obviously was a top pick for a reason. But what the kind of key linchpin is the fact that their offensive line is so good that it unlocks all of the abilities that the best case scenario quarterback of Jared Goff is with the protection that the offensive line gives him.
When I say put it in context, though, Jeremy, find out for me how many 300-yard games Jared Goff has in his career and where that puts him. What are you laughing about?
I thought you were going to say, Jeremy, find out for me if Jared Goff has any problematic things in his past.
Yes, that too. Find if there are any of those,
On
please.
it.
Okay, thank you. I guess the question I'm asking you guys, we spend a lot of time arguing about the value of quarterbacks and whether they're good or not, and Bill Polian says Lamar Jackson can't play the position and it's changing, and Jared Goff is a pocket passer in a system that is going to go down as an all-time great statistically because it's a different offensive game.
Yeah.
But if I tell you Jared Goff is in a top 5 class, and I don't know if he is, but he's got to be close.
Yeah.
Ever at the position in terms of statistics, you say what to me?
Top 5? Like in anything.
I'm just saying, I believe that, look, Jeremy, maybe I've got this all wrong, but I believe that Jared Goff is approaching statistically a place that very few quarterbacks have been on a running team. And I'm asking you guys, we spent a lot of time covering what is this position and who's valuable at this position. And I've got a discarded number 1 pick who was a salary cap deal so the other team could win a championship. And he's at the helm of the only team in football that we're totally sure is really good and the deep favorite to be in the Super Bowl because of what the AFC is. And so I'm asking everybody here, what is Jared Goff?
So he only has 3 300-yard passing games this season. One of those was a 400-yard passing game. He has 39 for his career. That ranks 20th all-time.
Okay.
He also is one of the most accurate passers. He's got 5 games over 80% completion percentage in the 10 games the Lions have played. Man.
So who are the quarterbacks who are in the top 5 there with how many? Just out of curiosity on 300-yard games. And I don't know if am I using even the right stat in making some of these assessments on whatever it is a quarterback is supposed to be?
I think 300 yards is probably a little bit more arbitrary than some of the other measurements. But, yeah, the top 5 is who you'd expect.
Breeze,
Brady,
Manning.
Peyton.
Yeah. It's Breeze at number 1 with 123 games. That's crazy. Then Tom Brady with 113, Peyton Manning with 93, Matt Ryan with 76, and Phillip Rivers with 73.
I'm going to go ahead and say Jared Goff does not belong in this conversation. Not for a while. And also, that Breeze record may never be broken.
I don't mind Jared Goff in the Matt Ryan conversation.
He's got to do it.
He's
got to do it. By it, blow a Super Bowl lead.
I was going to say, he's on track.
He's got to win an MVP. I don't know, he could have a very good career. He could be a Hall of Famer, and maybe he does belong in the conversation with Phillip Rivers in that he played in an era where no one would say that guy was the best of his era, but he was also still a good quarterback.
Dan just told me in my headphones, get a stat that supports what I'm saying. So here it is. According to NBC Sports, quarterbacks to hit 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a perfect passer rating in a single game. The list includes Ken O'Brien, Nick Foles, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and Jared Goff. Jared Goff, the only quarterback to do it twice.
That doesn't prove anything.
Siren. He's done it twice, though. Done it twice.
But he's playing great, I think, is what we're ultimately trying to get to.
Mahomes has 46 of these.
I've got a stat for you. I was watching Pat McAfee the other day. Do you know that he's 6-0 in games that he's thrown 4 interceptions or more?
That's a true stat.
According to Mr. Civ.
Mr. Civ.
Mike, I wanted to ask you, as we navigate what the modern sports climate is, how you feel watching that game last night. Hawk can talk to you organizationally about where it is the Browns are a spectacular failure. You gave up your fandom of the Browns in a big show of I'm no longer interested in this team. We didn't believe you, and there has been no evidence since that you actually care about the Browns. When you're watching that game last night, does any of the old fan rise up in you? And because you did something publicly that not a lot, like you said you were no longer going to care about the Browns after Deshaun Watson, and you ceased to. You seemed ceased to care in any way because of what they did there. And now last night, were you jealous that the Browns are having a fun night in the center of football, but No,
I'm not jealous of that. Look, they had a pretty good season. They made the playoffs. The Joe Flacco thing seemed fun. I have plenty of friends that I made because of the Cleveland Browns that I still value. I'm happy for them, but I know how my body felt when I saw the lower third alert me that Deshaun Watson was headed to the Cleveland Browns. And I knew in that moment there was no turning back. And I got accused of virtue signaling. I feel nothing. I don't even feel really all that much hatred for the Steelers, which is kind of weird. There's sometimes that they bother me, but when Chubb went into the end zone, I was like, all right, Chubb, I root for Chubb. I root for Myles Garrett. I'm not breaking myself of that.
He'll be back.
But I root for them in ways that I root for Baker Mayfield. I think that's probably my strongest fandom attachment right now in the league is I root pretty hard for Baker. Me and my friends have been kind of like, because I'm friends with still like quite a bit of Browns fans, and they always hit me with keys under the mat. And they're like, what is it going to take for you to be back now that Deshaun's gone? And they're like, what if Cam Ward gets drafted by the Cleveland Browns? I'm like, I don't know how my body's going to react to it. I don't know. But I had this conversation. A bunch of people came up to me, and thanks again for everybody that showed up to Flanagan's, and they asked me the same question. I think it was such a traumatic experience for me that I realized right then and there, like having so much of my identity tied up in an NFL team. Mm-hmm. I'm not for it. I'm just rooting for guys in that league. I pivoted my fan width to getting really involved with the Miami Hurricanes. I don't think I'll ever feel the same
Cyclones.
way about NFL
I was like,
teams the way that I
Mike,
did.
you grew up, you became a man. It's like, no, now I put in children who play football. That's what my energy is all about.
Andrew
Kim McCormick's got 4 kids and 3 lives and a mortgage, and he's like 43 years old.
He'll be back.
You look ridiculous, Mike. And Andrew Hawkins is saying to your face 3 times now, to your Jaguar face, you will be back.
I mean, there's probably, Jimmy Haslam sells a team. There might be a scenario. Baker Mayfield comes back to the Browns and is welcomed as a hero.
How about Deshaun he's leaving the door open? You feel how he's leaving the door open? This is the part of fandom. Mm-hmm. This is the true Browns fan. Mm-hmm. I know where he's at now in life. And I know this because my son is a true Browns fan. 12 years old.
Poor kid.
Week ruined every time they lose. Woke up this morning, went to sleep early last night because he didn't want to see them lose. Woke up this morning, found out they won. Completely different kid. Completely different kid. I know this is a part of Mike's soul. And I get where he's at, and I understand how it's like when someone who isn't an alcoholic, and I'm not trying to make light of alcoholism, Jeremy. But
Okay.
Whenever you stop drinking, and it's like, I just didn't like who I was on the juice. I just realized after a while it was, like, what are we even doing out here?
I feel
like,
healthier.
really? Like,
I feel lighter.
I wake up,
sleep better.
My mind is more free. The people around me like being around me more, and all my friends that still drink that I talk to all the time, they even are like, dude, I see something special in you. Are you ever going to come out again? And then the moment the right situation happens, I'm going to have one.
That first drop of.
Let me get a sip of that Cam Ward in the brown and orange jersey. Can I get a little? Nah, just take one drink. It's not going to do anything. It's not a big deal.
Fast forward.
I mean, but
fast forward 4 hours.
I hear you, but Hawk, one of those moments.
Mike, the tank is back, baby. Did you miss me, Amin?
That moment has presented itself last year with the Joe Flacco story, and they're in the playoffs, and I'm barely watching the game. Like I don't even like.
Joe Flacco is not the
because he's a hated Raven.
That's not the drink that's going to bring you
it
back
wasn't
to the
drink.
ball, buddy.
It wasn't your drink.
Cam Ward.
That's not the drink.
They're going to serve a Cam Ward. You're going to be like, one ain't going to hurt.
A Cam
I'll
Ward.
let you know how I feel about it.
A Cam Ward with one cube. Come on, bro.
You're smoking. We're smoking.
The water's
taking
not
a sip of that.
Yeah.
I pour it in your mouth like Salt Bay.
There's no playbook for. There's no playbook for all of a sudden being like a huge fan. Like it was my favorite type of fandom, and then feeling like they've abandoned you. So like, there's no real like playbook for me to borrow from experience. So of course I leave myself open. I'm sure like the Baker Mayfield scenario, if it were ever to play out where he's conquering hero, I'd be all in because I'm a Baker guy, and that, all right, finally we've purged ourselves. We've made sure that we've capitulated, know that this is a mistake. But I don't think I'm ever going to feel that way again about Pro Team.
Mike, I think I hear what you're saying, and what you need is John Taffer to show up and do a fan rescue. You go over, they remake the whole
That's
place.
so good.
And then the signature drink that they uncover is like, put 1 cube, pour 6 ounces of da-da-da. This is the Cam Ward. And you taste it with a straw, and ooh, that is good. And next thing you know,
I'm going to stick around for a little bit.
Sales are up 30% after 6 weeks. And it looks like Taffer walks outside, looks up.
You're telling me Cam Ward. You're telling me that Cam Ward's getting drafted by the Cleveland Browns? I reserve the right to entertain it.
There it is.
The one asterisk. That is the one asterisk. Look at Jeremy.
That's what my son wants.
But
Look at Jeremy. Look at Jeremy.
Oh, Cam Ward's clean.
Look at him.
Cam Ward's clean.
I know.
Don't even think about it.
I didn't say anything.
Don't even look it up because we don't need to know. My son loves Cam Ward. He prays every day that the Browns are going to draft Cam Ward. He's watched the
Just like Mike.
documentary 1 and 2 at least 15 times over the last 3 weeks.
Jesus.
I kid you not. He comes home from school, he puts the U on.
This is like me with the Glimmerman trailer. I watch it every day.
Really?
Just to start my day, yeah.
It's an odd one.
No, it's not. First you hear a sound, then a glimmer.
You're going to look us in the face and say it's not odd that you start your day every morning with Glimmerman?
Gets me high. Not the movie, just the trailer.
Just the trailer.
Okay.
Just a quick 2.5.
Get there. Keenan Ivory Wayans shows up. We hear James Brown. I got soul. Dun, 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 and I'm super bad. Because they're odd couple, you know? Like he's a this and he's a that.
I want to play some Mad Dog sound for you guys in a second, but let's play the Shannon Sharp sound because I did. I'd just be curious what Hawk thinks here because I love the power and voice and personality of Shannon Sharp. I really do. I'm really happy that all his hard work is working out for him. But I was a little bit surprised to see him go on Old Man Screed yelling about the Cowboys. And it's an easy one. Everyone's going to side with him on this, but Trayvon Diggs and CeeDee Lamb, I'm assuming, had a music video set up before they knew they were going to lose to the Texans by 25 points or however much it was. And Shannon Sharp has an amazing and great screed at their expense, but it's also every sports radio show I've heard for the last 30 years.
That's why y'all Cowboys suck. Because 2 of your best players, this is what they're doing. That shows you how much the game of football means to them. That's what he told me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
All I got to do, I see better than I hear. Now, I heard what CD said. Trayvon doesn't do a whole lot of talking. I hear what Michael said. But my grandpa used to always tell my brother now, he said, I see better than I hear. I heard what I heard what y'all told me, but I know I see that trash still in the corner when I told y'all to take it out. Everybody talks about winning, but do you take the steps in order to win? How is partying? You got your ass kicked I would have left the stadium with a bag over my head. Ain't no way y'all seeing me leave the stadium. After I got beat like that, after I've gotten beat like that every game, 47-9, 37-10, 48-32, a yada and a partridge and a pear tree, and you do this, is disrespectful.
White people really got to start going,
They
to
do.
hammer home other people's points.
They do.
We do?
Yeah. That's a number one saying on any podcast in human history. Listen to every podcast ever, and when they're saying something, you're going to hear,
No, that's different. I'm talking about,
Oh, you talk like a little...
Like when somebody's cooking?
Like a chip.
Yeah, that's a black...
Like
yeah.
a shiver went down your spine.
Yeah.
That's a different one.
Because Stugotz has a
Yeah,
but
that's
it's not.
different. No one does a
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have enough seasoning in your food to get a out of us.
Too many raisins in them.
That's crazy.
Did you have any thoughts on what the meat of was of what it is that he was saying there?
Yes, I don't know what happened. So explain to me the situation.
They were there was video of them in a club after they lost by a bunch at home to Houston, and they're the first team ever to lose 6 straight games at home where they've lost by more than 20 plus. They're an easy target, and Shannon dragged them because they deserve to be dragged. I just don't think they deserve to be dragged over being in the club after the loss.
Was it being in the club or was it filming a music video?
Okay, so yeah, there's a
filming
big
a music video at the club is what it was. I think.
Filming a music video that's a decision.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
To go film a music video is nuts. To be in the club, and it might look exactly the same whether it's a music video or not.
I can't tell the difference.
Is not as crazy as it might sound. It's not a.
Wait, the Tool Man.
Okay.
Yeah, that was Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm looking. Is that a music video? Or is that just we're in the club?
It honestly could be a social media team.
Is that TMZ?
In this day and age.
So that they're doing the thing where someone's holding up their flashlight off their phone, and they're holding the camera with the other hand.
They do seem to be singing a song into the camera, but I don't know.
CD has a. It's not a good look. To your point,
hasn't been a good look for 30 years.
It hasn't been a good look, but this is also normal.
Howdy, loyal listeners. It's Mike Ryan, and we're getting pretty close to wishing folks happy holidays. I'm sure many of you are already in the planning stages of opening up your homes and hosting holiday get-togethers. It can be stressful. Everyone's got an opinion. So why don't you make life easy for yourself, make everybody happy, and give them the gift of Miller Time. That's right, present to them a beer that actually tastes like beer. A beer that'll generate such good holiday vibes that you'll know exactly right away you made the right call with that beautiful white can. Oh, what a logo. That sparkling white label. As soon as you hold it in your hand, you know right away Miller Time is the best time. And it's got a taste that you can depend on. It doesn't just look great, folks. It tastes great. No games, no gimmicks, just great beer for people who like beer. Miller Lite is brewed for taste. Making memories at year-end gatherings? Tastes like Miller Time. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, where you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Tastes like Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. Fewer calories and carbs than premium regular beer.
How do you feel when you switch to Geico and save on your car insurance? It's like going to work on one Thursday morning and thinking to yourself, just one more day until Friday. But then somebody in the elevator says, Happy Friday! Then you check your phone quickly and discover today is actually Friday. So yes, Happy Friday, random stranger in the elevator. Happy Friday indeed. Yep, switching and saving with Geico feels just like that. Get more with Geico.